But the best part about you saying buckle up, buckers right there, is because that's the first thing you hear.
Was that right at the beginning?
Right at the beginning of episode 5, a cast pod. I'm Kevin, and forgetting to introduce us and himself last episode, it's Calum.
Yeah, buckaroos. All right.
This is fresh from the super spooky episode.
Yes, we were just talking about...
We're trying to talk a little bit of what to figure out for this episode, and a lot of trying to not be spooked.
Yeah, because if you didn't know, we freaked each other out so bad with that last episode.
Yeah.
Because, like, I knew talking about spooky stuff, like, we're gonna make ourselves a little creeped out.
But we went a little bit above what was needed.
Because we both just were like, you know what terrifies me? And then it's like, you know what, that is terrifying. But we're going to think about it and talk about it for a while. Now it's going to be on our minds. And we have to go to bed soon. So it's like, come on, man.
Well, I might not go to bed.
Yeah.
But that's just me personally, though. Because I don't.
True.
I stay up morning.
Yeah, me too. But also because scary. But this
I'm going to be wary of my tortoise and of just suddenly approaching me.
Suddenly just walking towards you. But we're not talking about that anymore. Right. We're not talking about scary
done.
stuff.
It's over with. Next time you hear spooky stuff, won't be like Halloween. Well, actual Halloween. It'll be at fake Halloween. July Halloween.
Yeah, we got to write down that because we're going to talk about like real life spooky stuff, not just like...
We're talking about probably the spookiest thing possible. Girls.
Yes, this episode we are talking about relationships and just like people of the opposite sex and like how we interact with them. More about how we've like failed to interact with them, at least on my part.
I've had my fair share of fails.
Exactly.
Some of them.
So a lighthearted episode, so that we can actually try to get some sleep tonight.
I would say this is a good This is going to be like a good look back on our interactions with girls and see like how much we actually know like different relationships things. Because I've told you my fair share of stories. You told me your fair share.
Mine are pretty famous among the friend group.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm just a ladies' man, honestly. Like
literally we have to keep the girls off of him.
Yeah, they just can't get enough of me. But yeah, I've had plenty of fails.
We should start this off by telling... Well, I was going to tell him.
Yeah.
Our roommate Tom from the last episode.
Oh, yes, Tom. Our lovely Sasquatch of a roommate.
Alright. So, Tom thought because we're both very social.
Yes.
Like, we have no problem with talking to people and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And Tom used to
yes,
believe that we had no problems with girls whatsoever.
Yeah, he was very wrong.
I feel like we should title this episode Tom's Wrong. We should also tell him about this.
Yeah, we should probably, because this is 2 episodes now that we've mentioned him. So he would probably appreciate it.
Yeah.
But yeah, he mistook our
abilities,
our confidence, and because we're pretty confident, and we usually don't.
Oh, I'm very confident and very arrogant too.
Yeah, exactly. So we don't usually care about what other people say. So we'll do really stupid things in public.
Oh yeah. And
not care whatsoever about any sort of repercussions or who's watching or saying anything about it. So he mistook that as we're super confident, and also we would have no trouble with women in any way.
And we talk to different we talk to a bunch of different girls too. Yeah. And it's just it's also just a random socialization thing. I just talk to everybody.
Exactly.
And for some reason sometimes girls find me funny.
Yeah.
And I just jump on that.
Exactly.
It's you think I'm slightly funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, you gotta roll with that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we have learned him in the ways of...
We're bad.
Yeah, we suck.
Mm-hmm.
So, would you like to give a story first?
I was gonna say, you know how people say, you're one way with your friends, a different way with your family, a different way with your significant other?
Right.
Kind of like that. I'm the same for all every situation. I don't change. The reason I won't tell you a story about something that happened is because I don't remember the story at the time. I need something to kind of bring back the memory.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah, I can start us off then.
All right.
I'll start off with a little one that like, oh, it caught me off guard. This is actually a time where I wasn't actually going for like any sort of anything, because usually my stories are like when I'm trying to date the girl or make some sort of move, and just completely failing.
Yeah.
But this time it was a girl who came on to me, and I still failed. So I was at the movies one time.
Okay.
And I don't remember when it was. It was like a long time ago. Like I was young, right?
Like how young
I
we
was
talking?
like, I want to say ninth grade or something.
All right.
Because ninth grade was when I had like a movie binge. Like literally every weekend I went out to see a movie.
Yeah, that's true.
And it was a great time. Like huge waste of money.
Oh
but,
yeah. You still see a lot of movies.
Yeah, I still do.
Just not as much.
But like, yeah, it was literally every weekend I would see a movie. And it was this one time I was there. I was I had gotten the ticket. I got my food, and I was at the popcorn butter machine, and I absolutely drowned my popcorn in butter.
It's true.
To the point where it leaks out of the bag.
It's
and
true.
it has leaked out of the bag onto my pants before
Oh, God.
and made big, wet, buttery spots like all over my pants, and I've had to walk out of the theater with like nearly dripping wet pants from pure butter. But
a little bit of pee,
anyways,
but that's beside the point.
there was some pee mixed in with the butter, but nobody could tell. Anyways, so I was there and, you know, taking my usual 15 to 30 minutes at the butter machine, trying to get as much as I wanted. And this lady walks up who's like, and she walks up to the other end because they're two facing opposite of each other. And to me at the time, I never looked directly at her, but she seemed like old. Like she seemed like she was definitely not even like a teenager anymore. I don't know how old, but like
She
seemed
definitely
like,
that it
seemed
would
like
be
she
weird.
was up there. Yeah, that it would be like weird for her to interact with me. But she did just that. She interacted with me. So it was like I was there buttering my popcorn, and I'm trying to think how she started off the conversation. The thing is, I feel like she must have been messing with me from like the tone of her voice, because she started off just like, "Hey, do you like a lot of butter on your popcorn?" But like in kind of a, you know, weird tone. And I was just like, I like, you know, the kind of regular amount. Because I was really taken back from the way this lady just walked up and started talking to me about butter. And I was like, because she was just like, "Oh, you like a lot of butter on your popcorn?" And I was like, "No, just the normal amount of butter." And she was just like, "Oh, well, I like a lot of butter on my popcorn." And then she went, "Oops, I got a bit on my thumb," and then seductively like licked and then sucked on her thumb. And then I was like, "Okay." And immediately walked away.
Just you yelling, "Okay."
It was exactly how it happened. And I was just like, "All right." And then I just went because I was like, I don't know what's going on. You're kind of scaring me. Because it's like, she wasn't even honestly like that attractive. Like, even if she was, I wouldn't do anything because I was a freshman and didn't know how to interact with women. So I just like walked out of there as fast as I could. And it was especially weird because I thought she was like way older than me. So it was like, no thank you. But yeah, that was a really awkward time.
Alright.
Did you think of one?
I thought of, well, I had one from our little like trying to get a talk thing that I told you about.
Yeah.
That you're like, I'm not gonna react to this because I'm like, you're probably gonna tell a story.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to get this one over with.
Okay.
Relatively early, so
yeah, go for it.
I could think about other things, so I don't have to put my focus.
Yeah.
So, a local theme park offered like middle schoolers trips, like once or twice a summer.
Yeah.
They'd be able to go after hours, do all the rides and stuff in the dark.
Which was cool.
Which, it was really fun. Anyway, so my first, like, it was like late 8th grade, like.
Yep.
And I had, like, my first girlfriend at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess we were kind of in an actual relationship. I don't really know how to, like...
Yeah,
see, like,
I would
when you call yourself boyfriend and girlfriend in elementary school, I'm like, no, that's stupid.
It is stupid.
But, like, late middle school, like, 8th grade and up, basically...
That could be, like,
I'm
a legitimate
like 8th grade to, like,
relationship.
junior year of high school, I'm like, is it legit? But then, like, junior year and afterwards, I'm like, alright, it's probably legit.
Yeah, after that, it definitely is. But, like, yeah.
Anyway.
Once you get in there.
So, it was my first, I guess, kind of date with this girl, Karina. Karina, I'm probably going to tell you about this, that we recorded this afterwards. So, hi, how's it going?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so, it was, like, our first thing as a couple, and we went with a couple of friends. One of those friends that happened to come along was none other than Calum Devaney. Right there.
That's me.
I totally said your last name.
You did.
Oops.
Oh, well.
And no one's gonna stalk you. We have like 3 views.
Yeah.
Anyway. So, we're kind of doing the usual theme park stuff.
Yep.
And we're on this roller coaster.
Yes.
On this roller coaster, me and Karina were sitting in front of no other than Calum.
Me.
So while we're riding the roller coaster, a certain somebody, I'm not saying who,
Me.
decided to start giving their life story that they made up on the spot.
Yes.
On the roller coaster ride.
Yes, I was screaming, in fact.
I just remember going, like, up the first initial, like, thing, where it's just like tick, 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 tick.
Boom.
And, but, you just, like, I look back because I see Calum with his arms behind his head, kind of like relaxed, just going, Chapter 1, the day I was born. And I'm just like, my God, what is going on? And I remember he made, like, throughout your life story, you eventually at one point made friends with a panda. I'm not sure how, but you brought up a panda somehow.
I believe it.
And you're just like, and then me and my friend, the panda, and it's just like, up, ride's over, I'll continue next time. Just that. Yep. And it's just like, what?
Yeah.
And it was like chapter 50, too.
Yeah, so let me explain from my point of view how that night went down. First of all, let me say that 8th grade, I peaked in comedic talent in 8th grade.
It's true.
We
are no longer funny.
To 100% be honest, like, I still consider myself a funny guy, but 8th grade, I was just spouting comedic gold. Like, my improv skills were
on point.
Just, like, off the chain. Like, there was another time with that same group of people that we had a prank phone call that I completely
I just
switched around onto that person and made my own prank phone call.
They tried prank calling my super old Juke phone, and I gave the phone to Calum, who kept transferring them to himself. But he changed his accent each time.
Yeah.
And the number 1 quote was zebra belly button.
Yeah, honestly, like, I don't know. Like, I don't even know where all of it came from. But it was just material for just, like, what am I going to say next? Like, what's the most random thing I could say? It just kept popping up. And it was like, how did I do that? Right? So, so at the theme park, this was just another one of those times where initially we sat down on the roller coaster. I was sitting by myself, and those two were sitting up front. And then I just noticed to the side of me, there's a little box with like a little light on top and like it's like a little speaker looking thing. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, now that I think about it, it's like obviously to like talk to people on the coaster and be, if like any sort of emergency were to happen, or like 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, I thought it was a camera, so you could record like.
It looked like a camera.
It looked like a camera. I thought it was like a camera, and then you could go to like the kiosk afterward. Because like any roller coaster, it had a picture moment, and so it would just record. Like you would be able to get your own reactions on the roller coaster.
And there might have been a camera on it, because that would make sense too. But it also looked like a little audio thing for sound. And I was like, "What is this?" Like,
what?
I was literally like, "It's like a camera and like a microphone. Can I record stuff in this? Oh my god. I'm going to record my life story." Because I was like, I don't know how I came up with it, but I'm like, you can record things on here. Oh, I'm totally going to give my life story. And I just went off. Like, the entirety of the roller coaster. Like, as soon as I thought this thing could, like, record me, I was like, here we go. And then, like, I was like, day 1, I was born. And then they're just like, what? And then we go over the top of the coaster, and then for the rest of the ride, I'm just like screaming, because like that's the only way I could speak normally.
Yeah, because it's roller coaster loud.
I was just yelling like, chapter 39. I don't even I didn't even know. I just kept making up so much crap. And I honestly, like, I have no memory of what I actually said. But
I only remember chapter 1, the day I was born, and the whole you randomly brought into a panda into it. But you're making it sound like it was only one ride. This is a relatively quick roller coaster. It was multiple rides of the roller coaster. I remember you doing that.
Yeah, I did.
And I'm like, my God, Cal.
Now, what were you going to say about what happened later on that evening?
So, I've realized something.
Yes.
I'm very bad with first kisses.
Okay.
So, I've had two, I would say, like, actual girlfriends.
Yes.
I screwed up the first kiss both times. Well, not really. So, with the first... Alright. So with the first girl, Karina, same night as Calum's life story, first of all.
What?
Hold on, before I continue, I just remember a side note. We got a ride home from your sister that night.
Did we really?
Yeah, I think it was like, we were getting a ride home from whoever drove you, and it was like your sister. And it was just like a completely random extra thought, and I was just
That's funny. My sister
like, because I remember... Like, we got in the car, and your sister was just like, there is, like, some kids acting super crazy on the side waiting to be picked up by the parents. And then your sister's like, these kids are insane.
Oh, yeah.
She had a thought like that. Like,
I remember it now. Yeah. That's funny.
It's random extra thought I had about it.
Right. But first,
anyway,
same night that whole happened, which
night.
I didn't know about before this. I did not know.
For
all of these years, I did not know that was his first kiss with her, and that was the same night that I realized I was the funniest person I knew. But anyways,
and just like that roller coaster, it only went downhill.
Wow.
I'm kidding. You're sometimes still funny.
Now I'm more surprised at how good that joke was.
Oh,
like, that was really spot on.
Thanks. I tried.
But anyways, how did you mess up this first kiss?
I didn't realize it happened.
You didn't realize that you had kissed her?
No, because it was more of a she kissed me thing.
Right.
And the way it happened, I just kind of stood there afterwards like, did we kiss? Like, I wasn't 100, because it was like, we're young, so it was just a little light peck on the lips.
Right.
And I'm just like, sitting there like, did this happen?
You should have asked her to do it again. I mean, like, I wasn't paying attention. One more time?
No. We were running late for our ride from your sister. But we were just like...
Oh, so it was before you got in the car?
It was before I got in the car.
Okay.
Because I'm pretty sure it was just you and me getting a ride back from your sister.
Yes.
Anyway... First off, Karina, if you somehow found this, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to tell you.
Yep.
I'm sorry I'm spoiling our wonderful, 6-month relationship.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so it was like that. I wasn't sure if it was true, so it was either later that night or the next day. I physically texted her, "Did that happen?"
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wait, so how did you not realize? Like, tell us about the moment that it happened.
So it happened. It's like I'm just kind of sitting there like thinking, and it's just like, so wait, did that actually like?
So wait, did she just kind of like lean in and kiss you basically? Like you were just standing there, and then like.
From what I remember, pretty much. Anyway, so.
Did you do anything?
No.
You literally just stood there.
I stood there basically like a brick.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm just like, this is 8th grade me, who just had his first kiss, and he's trying to process what actually happened. And his only logical process was send her a text afterwards saying, "Did this actually happen?"
Right.
And it turns out it did. I wonder if I could dig up my old phone and see if I could still have that message. Because that'd be super awkward, but it'd be super entertaining to see. But it's like she broke up with me in like the middle of summer or something like that.
Right.
And like after the breakup, tried to be friends. It didn't really work out. But then that was freshman year of high school. Senior year of high school, we had a class together. That freaking class. I hate math.
Yep.
Anyway, but we became friends again. We still talk every once in a while now. But we got to the point where we still kind of joked about our relationships and stuff like that.
Right.
Like she actually set me up with my second girlfriend, which we broke up a year later. But anyway. But she wrote in my senior yearbook be sure to tell all future girlfriends about your first one. And I told her, I'm like because she's dated more than I have, so more than 2. Yeah. And wow. I made a realization she only dates guys with very common names.
Really?
Yeah, I've never heard a Calum, because you don't see many Calums.
It's true.
It's just been super common, so I'm like, huh.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that was my first kiss. With her. I'll get to the second one afterwards, but do you have a first kiss story?
I mean, mine wasn't entirely too interesting, because it was like...
Did you realize it happened?
Oh, yeah. I was fully aware that it was happening, which is what I mean. It wasn't, crazy, it wasn't really awkward, it wasn't funny, it was just kind of happened. But basically what happened was, so with my girlfriend, my first girlfriend, and only girlfriend,
what?
I know, right?
Wait, I knew this stuff.
I know. So, we were just, we weren't dating at the time, because we were just friends. We were, friends who would, mess around. Not quite friends with benefits, because, we didn't...
They would be super flirty to each other.
Benefits were extremely limited, basically, yeah. So it was
they were just flirty.
Yeah, so it was because it was before we had even kissed yet, so obviously nothing more than that would have happened. So, we were just, laying around in bed one time, and see, even that sounds more seductive or whatever than it really was. We were literally just, on her bed, probably watching TV or something. And she just, she was just, kind of looking at me, because, we were next to each other, and, I could tell that she was thinking about kissing me, because, she did that thing where, she looks at your lips or whatever, and then, looks at you, and then I
never understood that. I was like, if I just look at someone's lips, that means I want to kiss them?
Yeah, apparently that's a thing. But, yeah, because, I mean, it's something that I heard about, and I started doing it, and I'm like, you're kind of looking like you want to kiss me right now. And she's like, I kind of do. And it was funny because she didn't want to be my first kiss, because she was like, I know.
I thought I was going to be your first kiss. No.
So
no. That was too much. I'm sorry. But goodbye.
Yeah, you can hop out. So,
oh my god, it's so much better out here. There's actual airflow.
Well, you know what? You can stay out there. So, like, basically...
Then what happened?
Shut up. So, basically... he's just standing outside the car. Like, just... Anyways, so what happened was... she had said, like, she didn't want to be my first kiss because I had told her earlier that, like, I want my first kiss to be with someone special. Because, like, I could have kissed... Really? The truffle shuffle?
Yeah.
Just in the middle of the street. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I've had a lot of opportunities to have a first kiss.
Just...
Get back in the car. Son of a gun. I've had a lot of opportunities to have a kiss before, but I didn't actually go for it because, like, I wanted it to be with, like, someone important, right?
Mm-hmm.
And be like...
It'd be worth it.
Yeah.
You didn't want it just to be, like, a stupid little kiss.
Yeah, you don't want your first kiss to be like, oh, it was like a dare or whatever, because, like, that's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, if it's with someone, like, you want to be in a relationship with, yeah. So she was like, oh, I know you said you want your first kiss to be, like, someone important or whatever. And then I was like, well, yeah.
So she said, joke's on you, you're kissing me anyway. You kissed, and then never talked to again. I'm sorry. Continue.
Yeah, you can try again next time. But no, I was just like, I do. And honestly, if it was with you, that would be a pretty good first kiss. So then we just kissed. And that was basically it. And that's how, like, the relationship kind of went from there, because it's like, we didn't know whether or not, like, we wanted to actually be in a relationship, because, like, alright, across the street, why are you moving around right now? I see just, like, a bit of light, and, like, something moved the curtain.
They probably heard me yell, tell me more about it.
Like, what time is it right now?
It is 3:14.
The spooky episode ended.
Why is it more spooky? Continue your story. That's pretty boring, actually. No offense.
No, it is boring. That's right. What the fudge was that? A dark shape just moved across the, like, barely any light that's in that window. Why is there light in the window? This is really freaky. Anyways, but yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it's nothing exciting. It was literally just like, oh, you want a kiss? Yeah, I guess so. And that was it. I have much more interesting stories about trying to make something happen and it not working out whatsoever. Yeah. So, like, let's think of one.
All right, first, before we go to that,
yeah, you
my
go.
first
I'll
kiss with my second girlfriend.
Yes, tell us.
Who was set up to me with my first girlfriend. Anyway, I straight up missed her mouth. And it wasn't like, thinking back, I could... you having fun there?
Yeah.
Like, I awkwardly kissed, like, upper lip and slight nose. And it wasn't like... and it wasn't like Kevin be super flirty and be like, let's try that again. It was, dang, I missed. Try again next time. I could have been totally cute and romantic about it. Nope. I was just like, this is a sitcom now. Oops.
Oh my god.
Yep. So to all future girlfriends of me, I apologize for the first kiss. I'm doing that now.
Straight up missed her mouth.
I missed.
Oh my god.
She went one way, I went the other. It did not work.
That is absolutely hilarious.
It was bad. It was really bad.
Well,
you got a story about that's embarrassing?
I mean, I'm trying to think of some good ones that I have. So, like, I guess, like, the famous one for me is this one girl. The one girl I tried to date senior year, and she was my prom date. So, basically, well, first of all, leading up to the prom date thing, I didn't even know if I really wanted to take her, because I was like, I'm going to consider it, but, like, you know, I got some other options, too. Until
you did have other options.
I did. I had other options. And I was leaning more towards those other options. until I heard from literally everyone I knew that this girl who I took to prom was like begging for it. Like she asked all of my friends and all of our like mutual friends and like just everybody about like what I was doing and like who I wanted to take to prom and like if I would take her to prom and like what are the possibilities. Like she just asked everyone. It's like, oh, who is he thinking about taking to prom? Like, do you think he would take me to prom? Like, I really want him to take me to prom. And like other guys would ask her and she'd be like, no, I don't want to go with you. But like, and then she would tell other people, it's like because I'm waiting for Calum to ask me to prom. And I'm like, good lord, she wants me to take her to prom.
Thirsty.
She seemed like it. So I was like, I mean, okay, like I like her and all, so like, yeah, I guess I'll take her. Cause like the other ones that I would consider would be more of like taking a chance, but like she, like really wanted to go to prom with me, so I was like, all right, that'll work out, and we went to prom, and it was a good time. I had fun, but then it was after that
Yay.
that it got a whole lot worse.
Love this story.
So I didn't want to try to date her. I just wanted to be friends and like, even though I liked her and all.
So, were you applying the method I did? So, first girlfriend sent me up, second girlfriend first time we went out. She was originally my prom date to senior prom.
Yes.
And my philosophy for post prom, it's like I'm being set up with this girl I have met like a couple times beforehand. We've talked and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be a jerk and just be like, the second prom's over is the second I stop talking to her.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be that guy.
Right.
So my philosophy was just talk to her. And then a relationship happened. I failed the first kiss. And continue your story. Did you try to not be like that?
No, I didn't want...
I mean, like you try to still be friends at least?
Yeah, because like we were already good friends before that. So it was like, I'd just go back to how things were and just be like, be friends. But it was my two friends, Jason and Kieran, who were like,
ooh, should we tell Kieran's great story?
Oh, it'll come up. So they were like, yo, you should totally date her. And I'm like, I mean, I don't really know. Like, I think we could just be friends. Like, I'm not really looking for a relationship. And they're like, no, you could totally do it. Like, you remember how much, like, she wanted you to take her to prom? Like, you should definitely try and date her. So I was like, you know what, that's actually kind of a good idea. Because, like, well, like, I was reluctant at first. Obviously, like, no, I'm not gonna do that. But, like, they just kept telling me, like, you should definitely do it. Like, definitely try it. And I was like, all right. So I gave it a shot. I would talk to her a lot and, like, flirt with her and stuff. And then it got to the point where I would actually ask her on a date. So, first time asking her on a date, I sent her a text. And I was basically just like, hey, I don't know if you're doing anything, but, like, would you want to, like, go to dinner or, like, a movie or something with me sometime? Just kind of, like, you know, just you and me.
Here it comes.
She did not respond for 3 days.
That's not the part I was thinking about. Never mind.
It's not, I know, because there's a lot to it. Because, like, I asked her to go to a movie on, like, a Friday, or like the coming Friday or Saturday, and it was like that Thursday, so like obviously it'd be a couple days and then we'd go do it, because like we were texting every day, like consistently, like throughout the day, so it was fine. And I thought like obviously she would respond and then it's enough time in advance that like we could go do it. She did not respond for 3 days, so it was like through the day that we were supposed to go out, she still had not responded to me. And then, like, a day after that, still didn't respond. So it was, like, that next Monday where she texted me in the morning and was like, hey, do we have band today? And I was just like, yes, nope. We have band today. She's like, okay, cool. And then she goes on, she's like, and sorry I didn't get back to you about blah, blah, blah. You know, I was really busy this weekend and whatever. And I was like, yeah, whatever.
Full of it.
But then she was like, we could try to do something else this weekend. And I was like, oh. I mean, that's pretty cool. Like, all right, I'll try that.
Now this is my
So then we get down to it, and it's that day. It's like the Friday following that. And we're going to go see a movie and go to dinner.
What movie?
I honestly have no idea, because I know I was more focused on the fact that this date had fallen apart than the movie itself. So basically, it was that day right before school ended, and she comes up to me and she's like, "Hey, who did you invite to come to the movie tonight?" And I was like, "No one." And she was like, "Oh, why?" And I was like, "Because I thought it was just me and you going." She's like, "Oh, no, we were gonna have like a couple people join us." And I was like, "Oh, no." I was basically like, I mean, I didn't plan on that. But then I was like, that's okay, because this works out, because it's too short of a notice for anyone to actually show up. And she's like, all right, I'll try to find some people. And I'm like, I really hope you don't.
Oh, God.
She managed to find, like, 3 other dudes.
Keyword is dudes.
Yeah, they're all guys that she brought along. They're all friends of mine, too. Like, they're all mutual friends of mine and hers. And I was just like, are you serious right now? I had to go to dinner with her and 3 other guys, and 2 of which I knew for a fact had a thing for her. So it was literally like just a competition for her attention this whole time, when it was supposed to be a date between us. And it sucked.
If it makes you feel better, I just thought of probably my most embarrassing moment ever.
I can't wait to hear that.
Continue.
But there's 2 more main points to cover in this one. One being, when I tried to actually make a move on her, I was in the movie. I don't remember if this was, I don't think this is with the group of people, because I wouldn't have tried anything with a group of people around. But like, yeah, I think it was just the 2 of us sitting there watching a movie when I realized, like, oh, I could, try one of those things. I'm not going to try I thought about...
You're not going to do the yawn and get arms around her.
I thought about putting the arm around her, but I looked at her, and she was sitting straight back in her chair. So, like, head right up against the headrest. There was no chance of my arm getting there, because it would have been
just
one of those...
Just kind of, like, wiggle it behind her, like...
Yeah, like, I wasn't going to, like, force it behind her neck, or then do the thing where it's just, like, you try to reach over, and then you just land on their head, and then you're just like, hey. And it's just, like, to try to, like, keep bumping their head until they move it so you can put your arm around her. So I was like, alright, so that's not going to work. Well, what if I try to, like, hold hands with her? So I'm not just going to reach over and, like, grab her hand, because, like, that's...
It's like, this is mine now.
Yeah, because that's just weird. So I was like...
This is my favorite part.
Well, how do I, like, insinuate that I want to hold hands with her without straight up grabbing her hand or just turning and being like, you want to hold hands? Like, how do I do that? So I thought, what if I just, like, put my hand close to her, like, in a kind of open hand gesture, just, like, leave it there, like, in her line of sight, so that she can see it and be like, if she wants to hold hands, then she would, like, have, she would have, like, an opening. It would be like, you are welcome to hold my hand if you wish, because it is there. So for the majority of this movie, I'm sitting there, she's sitting next to me, and my hand is just, like, out, like, right near her.
No, battery's low.
Oh, God.
Alright,
so
still going.
My hand is just, like, right up next to her, just, like, in plain view, just palm wide open, fingers spread, just like, just like anytime you want to,
Hands right over here.
Put your hand there you go. She did not move. Like, her arms were crossed, and she just, like, no sort of advances were made. And that was just one of those awkward dates that we tried to make happen. And the ending of the story is what'll really get you, the final twist. So, we were still talking near the end of the school year, and a mutual friend of ours was having a party. And this friend invites me over, obviously. And I was like, nah, I'm alright. Because I didn't really do parties. Especially in high school, I was, like, nervous. Because I was like, what if anything happened with police or whatever? Because, like, I was really focused on doing well in school and, like, getting where I need to be in life without making any unnecessary risks. Like, even if I had gone to the party, like, I probably wouldn't have drank, I wouldn't have smoked or anything like that. Because that's just who I am. So, like, I wouldn't do anything, but I didn't really want to be there because I thought it's not really the atmosphere for me. She was going to that party, though, and she was asking me, like, oh, are you going to the party? And I was like, no, I'm not really, it's not really my thing. And she was just like, oh, man, like, you should totally go. Like, I'd love to see you there and whatever. Like, saying all
I
those
think
things.
I know this part.
I mean, yeah, I've said it many times, and she was just like, oh, come on. And I was like, nah, I'm alright, but, let me know how it is. And she's like, alright, but, wish you were here. And I was like, yeah. So then, later on, I think it was like a day or two afterwards, hanging out with my friends, one of them being Kieran. One of the ones who had initially told me that I should, try dating Carolyn. And obviously it wasn't working out at this point. And, like, I had actually, grown to have feelings for her now. I was actually, like, trying to date her. So we're playing soccer. He's, like, driving me home, and he's like, hey, you know that party that recently happened? And I was like, yeah, I heard about it. And he was like, yeah, I was there. And, I wanted to tell you something that, like, you can be mad at me for, but, like, I just thought, like, you should hear it from me. And I was like, did you do something with my prom date? And he was like, yeah. And, well, at first he was taken back because, like, he was like, wait, how did you know? And I'm like, I could just tell from the way you were leading up to this that, like, you had done something bad that would affect me in some way. Apparently, I don't know how legit this is, she had just, like, put on the moves for him. They were both extremely drunk, and they went upstairs and had a grand old time. As much as young high schoolers do. Well, I mean, we were seniors, so, like, but yeah.
Are you willing to admit what you call what they did? Because I just love the terminology.
Yeah, so,
I sound like I'm crying, but I'm trying not to laugh.
Yeah, you're trying not to laugh. Hard. So she just straight up gave him a hand job, which,
what do you call it as?
Yeah, I refer to it as a handy J to make it, like, less vulgar. But also because, like, after the fact, obviously I was mad. I was mad at him for, like, getting with the girl that he had tried to convince me to get with, and then went behind my back and was like, oh, I'll just do this. And he says, oh, I was drunk, I didn't mean to. And I was like, whatever. I wasn't too mad at him, but I was more like, come on, dude. But, like, I was mad at her, too, because I was like, are you serious? You're going to flirt it up with me? And then, like, first chance you get, once you're a little tipsy, you're going to just, whack it with some whatever dude you find. Like, what is up with that?
And it was Kieran, too, I mean...
And it was Kieran. And he sucks.
Yeah, he does suck.
So...
You hear that, Kieran? If you're listening to this, you suck.
For a while, I referred to her as Handy Manny. The old cartoon of the Spanish Bob the Builder. The door is lit up now.
Dude, I'm freaking out.
Do you see that?
I see it.
Also, the blinds are more open.
I see that too. Why is the door lit up?
It's like nearly 4 a.m.
I kind of want to move, but I'm afraid to.
What the fudge is wrong with my neighbors?
Can we just burn their house down?
I think so.
I mean, if you've listened to the previous episode about us talking spooky stuff, Kevin's pretty much, if it's got the possibility of being haunted, I don't want to deal with that shit. I'm going to burn it on the spot.
Yeah. Anyways, trying to avoid that creepiness. Yeah. So
I wonder if the cops are gonna get called on us.
I don't know.
That'd be hilarious.
That would be kind of funny if they're moving around because they see us just like sitting in a car. But yeah, so that's basically what ended that whole thing, was her getting with this other dude, a friend of mine. And then I was just like, all right, you know what? No thanks. I don't want any more of this. And yeah, we pretty much stopped talking after that. Like every once in a while she would send a message and just be like, hey, how's it going? But yeah, for the most part, that's what ended it off. And yeah, so that was a fun time in my life of just awkwardness and
I've still got you beat.
fails. But yeah, please tell us about this one.
All right.
That you are so happy to tell us about.
I am not happy. I regret thinking of it because if I'm just like, I very much think out loud a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about it. I said it out loud.
Yeah.
And even if we weren't recording, I was going to have to end up telling you anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I might as well get it over with. So, I just want to start off semi-related. It was 6th grade. And I had no idea how relationships worked.
It makes sense.
And when I said I had no idea, I literally mean no idea.
I didn't know until about like sophomore year of college, so.
I based everything off of TV shows, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, first off, our good friend Nick, who's on the pretty podcast of the podcast at CG_ice14, where if you search their name, we pop up there too.
Shameless plug.
Because I tag their name in our videos.
Yep.
Anyway, it was 6th grade. We were on the bus. I have a hair in my mouth. This is
Uh-huh.
Alright. Anyway, so it was like, for some reason in 6th grade, everyone thought they should be in relationships.
Right. Including me.
Including me.
No, that's a joke. I didn't even know what a girl was. But go on.
Anyway, so some girl got Nick's phone number somehow, and called him asking about how...
Wait, I know this story.
Yeah,
How is this embarrassing?
It's not... No, this isn't my story. This is just a story
this
of
is
how
a
well I
story.
understood romance.
Okay,
and
are you going to tell your embarrassing story?
I'm going to tell it, unfortunately.
Okay, great.
Anyway, so Nick is talking on the phone, and this girl's asking him out over the phone. Actually, I'm pretty sure her friend was asking Nick out for her friend over the phone. So when I was like, Nick, what's going on? And he's like, I'm being asked out by this person for this person over the phone. My inner monologue of the wonderful world of me, where I don't think much, was like, if their friend's talking about asking out Nick, I'm Nick's friend. I should talk to them and have it, and then it's like, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, relationship.
Yeah.
That, and I was like, Nick kind of had this look of Nick's a nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I hate to admit it, because he's the competition, podcast-wise.
Right.
He's a nice guy. And Nick was like, hey, crap. I got distracted by the open door again.
Well, because I saw the dude.
I saw
the dude in the house. No, he passed by the door. I could just see him through the crack in the door, but I don't know where he went.
I'm slightly concerned because we're talking a lot and hot air is coming out of our mouths and our windows are starting to fog up. So I'm like, I wonder if he's calling the cops because he thinks we're blazing, because I kind of got out of the car at one point and started doing the truffle shuffle at Calum in the car.
I think we're fine on that. I'm more worried about I'm going to see a murder through this window. But keep telling your story.
So anyway, person was asking out Nick for friend over phone.
Yep.
I logically thought I should be the one to talk to them, so friend talked to friend, make a whole chain out of it. So I basically took Nick's phone, said, Nick says yes, goodbye, hung up the phone, and that kind of happened. And Nick was like, why did you do that? And I'm like, you're welcome. Anyway.
Now that's a quality wingman right there.
Yeah. It worked for him, even though he didn't want it to happen.
Yeah.
Alright, so my wonderful story was in 6th grade. There was this girl I had a thing for. I didn't understand how relationships worked.
Can we know her first name?
We could, but would I tell you?
I want to know. I mean, I told a story about how I legit peed my pants at a friend's house.
Alright, hold on. There's another car coming. It's driving very slow. Very slow. Oh, it's pulling in the house.
It's pulling into...
What the fuck is going on?
The house across the street where all the nonsense is happening.
Just lower the window. Why couldn't you do this during the spooky episode?
What the fudge? It's like 4 a.m.
Alright.
Okay, keep telling your story. I'm gonna keep watching what's happening.
I'm watching too.
So 6th grade.
6th grade. I didn't understand how relationships worked. So
you had this thing for this girl.
The girl was named Catherine. You remember how I used to have a thing for her?
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
that whole situation. And I didn't know how relationships worked.
Yes.
As I said. So my logical answer was, you asked a girl out with a gift. So logically, I did the only thing I thought of. I won a dolphin at a carnival game at a random amusement park. And I say random amusement park not because I'm trying to hide what amusement park I'm going to, because I don't really remember what amusement park I went to.
Right.
Anyway, won a stuffed dolphin. I kind of left it for her in her locker with a note. I got a hard no by her returning the dolphin and saying, no.
Oh.
And that happened.
Ouch.
It was awkward beyond belief.
Oh my god.
I didn't understand how relationships worked. Gonna be honest, even through my first actual relationship, it wasn't 100% sure how it worked. Took me about the third relationship to figure out how it works. Here's a hint. I've only been in 2 relationships, so I still don't know how it works.
I feel hurt from listening to that.
Yep. No, I don't. I've never told that story. Even to Calum just talking.
Yeah.
These people are walking around.
Yeah, so we figured it out. These people, I think, are actually going on vacation, and they must be getting up for, like, a really early flight. Because, like, they're all fully dressed, and they're bringing out suitcases to a car. So, like, they must be going on vacation. But it's still weird as anything.
Yeah, as weird as that is, I just thought, how weird is it going to be when we leave? Because you're going to get out of the car and go back to your house. Oh, yeah. I'm going to drive away. They probably noticed this car's been sitting here for a couple hours at this point.
Yep. And then we're just going to, like, suddenly leave, and they're going to be like, were those people just sitting in that car all night? And I'll be like, yeah.
Anyway, gave a girl a dolphin, got a hard no.
That reminds me of a story I had,
and that's my most embarrassing moment I can think of.
I've had definitely more embarrassing moments, but not really more relationships. So, the first girl I ever had a crush on was in 9th grade, and,
who?
Her name was Katie. There's a couple. Like, that's a common name, but
yeah.
I can tell you.
You'll tell me afterwards. Because this might be our last story, because we're seeming to run kind of long.
Yeah. So we can finish it with this one. So, what I did, because this is the first time I ever had a crush on a girl. Like, she was the first girl that like, obviously I looked at and I was just like, wow, she's really attractive. And, like...
Gonna be honest, there's a little bit of part of me that really wants to know Katie who. So I was so tempted to just stop the episode, be like, we've wasted enough of your time, and, like, completely cut you off at the beginning of the story and go, who? You'll just tell me later.
I'm actually trying to remember her name. Like, I can't fully remember her last name. But I'll figure it out afterwards. So, basically, like, this was the first girl I ever liked. Like, she was the first girl that I looked at and I was like, whoa, like, girls are attractive, basically. And, like, I liked her personality and everything, so I was like, I want to date this girl.
Mm-hmm.
It was like ninth grade, and it was the first
I like
time.
your little mini like hiccup.
Yeah,
burps.
I have like a hiccup burp going on right now. First girl that I ever like, wanted anything with. I had no idea what I was doing. Absolutely no idea. So like, for a while, it was just like we texted a lot. Like, pretty much every day, we just would have a text conversation, and I would ask her to hang out places. But like, obviously, it was with other people. So like, we'd just go hang out and do things like that. I never got to the point where it was just me and her hanging out one on one.
You're really bad at getting one-on-one time.
I know. It sucks.
You're batting like. I mean, you've got one.
There have been so many
But
more
there's
that I've
been
tried
so
with.
many misses.
And I blame it on the fact that my go-to was
movies.
Red Robin. I mean, movies as well. But yeah, like, movies are just a bad place for dates. Like, I even did it with my first girlfriend. They're just not good date things. Like, it's more just, like, if you want to go see a movie. Because, like, you don't talk to them or anything.
I mean,
like,
sure, there's that stereotypical couple that's making out in the back.
Yeah, but, like, normal people don't do that.
Yeah.
And, like, same thing is, like, you can't have a conversation with them or, like, whatever. It's just you and them sitting next to each other for, like, an hour or two, staring silently at a screen.
Mm-hmm.
It's just bad. But, like, I would always, any girl that I would consider dating, I would just be like, do you want to go to Red Robin sometime? And they'd be like, no. Okay.
Okay,
bye. Just shut down. But, yeah, so I never got to hang out with her one-on-one. But, like, I tried different things, like, in school and stuff. Like, if we didn't do the one-on-one. So, like, one way I thought...
Was she in our grade?
Yeah, she was in our grade. One way that I thought I could try to, like, make her realize that, like, I wanted to date or whatever, I thought I would get her a gift. And I was like...
Been there.
Yeah, so it was like, that's what made me think of it. I was like, what kind of gift do I give a girl? And also, how do I just give a girl a gift? Like, I need a reason to, right? Like, I can't just give her a gift like it's not.
You really can't just go, here's a gift. I expect nothing back.
Like, it wasn't Christmas. It wasn't her birthday. It wasn't anything like that. So it was like, I need a reason to give her a gift. Thankfully, like, how fortunate was I that it was International Women's Day.
Oh my gosh, did you use that as the day?
You know it.
Happy International Women's Day. I got you this.
Yep. I was like, hey, like, I'm trying to think of how it was such an awkward conversation. Like, I'm trying to do it justice. I was just like, hey, it's International Women's Day and this was like a couple days beforehand. Like, I saw that it was coming up and I was like, gotta prepare for International Women's Day. Right? So I was like, fudge, how do I do this? So I was like, yeah, so it's International Women's Day coming up. She's like, oh, really? I didn't even know that was a day. Like, whatever. I was just like, yeah, I mean, like, I gotta think about, like, what we're gonna do. Because, like, you're a woman.
Yeah.
And it's your day. So, like, how do we celebrate? And she was just like, I don't know. I didn't know if it was, like, something you could actually celebrate. And I was like, well, of course. I have to get you something for International Women's Day. And she was like, okay, I guess so. So then, what I decided on was I got her a cupcake that was not just any kind of cupcake with just, like, crappy little cake thing with frosting. It was, like, a really well-made cupcake that I bought from a store. And I love this store, too. And it was, like, my favorite type of cupcake, too, from that store. It was, like, a chocolate cupcake with a raspberry filling. Ooh. And, like, a raspberry frosting as well. Chocolate raspberry
So, you
mix.
bought this girl... Bought this $20 cupcake.
It wasn't that expensive, but it was like a quality cupcake. And I was like, all right, I'll give it to her. So I brought it into school, and I was just like, hey, I got you the cupcake for International Women's Day. And she's like, oh my God, that's so nice. Like, people never get me gifts. Like, and I was like, you might not like it or whatever, so I wouldn't think me too much. And she's like, I don't care. It's like, it's such a nice thought, and like nobody ever does this. It's great. And I was like, wow, it actually worked.
It worked?
It didn't. Because it seemed like it did. She was super happy and appreciative, and she was like, "This is awesome. Thank you so much." And I was like, "Yes, I'm in."
You got this.
Then she started dating somebody else.
Ooh.
And I was like...
Do you know somebody else?
Yeah. I, like, kind of knew him. I wasn't really friends with him, but, like, he was friends with some of my closer friends, so I was just like...
Is he one of those people that you know their name? Like, a decent bit would know their name?
Yeah. And, like, I spoke to him, like, a couple times, like, before that, but I was just like, dang it. And actually, they're still dating to this day. From 9th grade.
What?
Yeah.
I think...
From 9th grade into junior year of college, they are still dating. And, yeah.
I haven't, I'm trying to think of couples.
Right.
And I have one in my mind. But I don't remember what his girlfriend's name is.
We'll discuss it afterwards. But anyways, yeah, so that was my story of giving a gift to a girl, having it accepted,
and then
it not working out whatsoever.
Huh.
Yep. So as you can tell,
this just proves Tom wrong. We know, we may be confident, but we know nothing about girls.
Yeah, when it comes to women, we suck.
Yep. We've wasted enough of your time, and a lot of their time, too.
Yep, plenty of girls' times have been wasted, including yours, so I think it's about time we end it off until next episode.
Hopefully it won't be like last episode where I try to end it and then it doesn't work.
That was so funny.
Oh, that was great. Spooky, little spoiler to the ending of the last episode. Spooky talk the entire thing. I try to be spooky and go, watch out, there's something behind you. I didn't stop the recording.
Not at all.
It continued, and
that was great.
And then we had to start all over. Well, not start over, but I was like, did we stop? And it's like, nope. Awkward.
Yep. So that was good. We'll have a better ending this time.
Yeah. With this, the usual. We've wasted enough of your time.
There you go.
And the phone went dark as I tried to hit off.
Crap. End it.